Incentive and reward. By itself, it's not a bad thing, but we've overused it. In fact, the data shows us that when we reward things, we get a short-term boost in performance. But in the long run, it actually hinders performance, and get this is the scary part, it actually hinders intrinsic motivation, and that's where meaningfulness lies. See, I can't give you more time, and we all have a finite amount of time. You can't give yourself more time. But what you can do, if you are able to increase your energy, you will be able to be quicker, faster, and stronger and more engaged in the things that are important for you.
What great companies are finding out is that when you can have a great culture, it's one of the true remaining competitive advantages that you can have over other companies. But when they can have a great culture, it actually is what drives your results.
The thing we know most about them that's probably the most interesting is that these people are sexy. I see some heads shaking this, and some heads shaking this. Now, if you dare, if you had your left over your right, raise your hands. Let's own it. Let's own it. All right. Okay, you can put your hands down now. Take note of these folks because these are more of our left brainers. All right, a little more leaning, more left, a little more structured, a little more analytical. They are our thinkers. All right. In fact, they just think they're sexy. Take, for example, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, I know many of you have heard about this being the standard for motivation. Well, Maslow was wrong. It turns out you can actually reach self-actualization at even the expense or not even meeting the lower level needs. It's a paradox of we have the most powerful technology, we have more responsibility than we've ever had before, and yet we have the highest levels of stress in the history of what we know in the history of work. Now, the science also tells us and reminds us that when we think about motivation, it's not something we instill in someone, it's actually something that we can activate within them. In fact, the studies around this in neuroscience supports this. Case Western Reserve University did a study where they worked with people and looked at fMRI readouts. And as they talked with people about their goals and their dreams and their hopes, their brains light up. We have good data around surveys of people who are not engaged, and they are saying, I would love to be engaged in something. Give me something to live for. Give me something to wake up for in the morning when my alarm goes off and I don't want to get out of bed. I would love to have something to get up to go to that I'm excited about. And that's the process of activation. The role of a leader really is to call people and support and equip and resource someone to a higher level of being and performance at their work. Our managers are the ones uniquely positioned to create the connection between people and what their unique and their intrinsic desires and their needs are.
Power over people is being replaced by power through people. If we want to build the cultures that we really want, that have ethically intelligent people, high character people, and high results, we got to have the perspective of power through people.
But I believe the Goldman dilemma in 2018, and maybe the 2020s, is not with athletes, but it's with leaders. Because we have a choice right now. Do we take the pill and suffer the consequences? Or do we choose to live a way that we can live for now and we can live for later? And at the same time, we're leading people in a way that's healthy for them as well. We can actually put money into helping develop our managers so they know how to do this, so they know how to make this connection between people and what they do and their intrinsic desires and their intrinsic needs, and then with that of the business, That's where we get people truly engaged.